Well, hi everyone. How are you? Thank you for listening and commenting and all of the support and love I've been getting. I've been loving it. So, anyway, there is a huge part of all of us that come together collectively that watch our favorite weirdo and just say WTF, because our minds are collectively going, this person should not be roaming in free society. Okay, that the scams that they pull have hurt others. So I say our favorite weirdo, and it's like, okay, there's something facetious about that, because bottom line is she does break the law. She is endangering other people's lives on a regular basis and is neglecting and abusing her animals. So there are some very serious aspects of this, and so many of us are just going, what, how, and whatever. And so that's where I'd like to take this channel in the direction of going to some of the true crime stories, current and former, that have some unanswered questions, because I think that we are a like-minded group and we can have some good discussions and bring awareness and, most of all, justice, which is our end goal with everything. Now, that being said, the topic of today's discussion is Ambien. Now, Ambien is a drug that was developed to make astronauts sleep, because they could not sleep. Their circadian rhythms are all messed up, etc., etc. So it was made and it was used in a controlled environment. It is essentially a hypnotic in that it causes amnesia, and the problem, yes, it makes you sleep. Does it give you a restful REM sleep? No. Does it cause more problems than it's worth? Yeah, and that's why it's only used for short-term prescribing at this point. There have been numerous accidents that have caused the loss of life, and there are countless stories of people doing things that have cost them dearly. And the problem is that people look and act like they're awake, but they're not. They're in a state of hypnosis. I mean, there's really no other way to explain it. People eat in their sleep, and the problem is that they were like eating raw hamburger, because the part of their brain that would know you don't eat raw hamburger isn't there, but the part that says, oh, there's something in the fridge, let me eat it, nom nom nom. So then they wake up in the morning and it looks like there's been a murder in their kitchen. It was them eating the ground beef that they had thawed for the next night's dinner. This famous story of Robert Kennedy Jr., I think, because that's the one, and he was in the middle of the grocery store pissing all over the produce. He was on Ambien. Now, my personal story with Ambien, revolves around circa 2000, and I had been going through a very rough time in my life, and I needed sleep, and I was prescribed Ambien. And I don't know who was more offended when I sent a completely naked picture of myself to everybody on my mailing list. I don't know if my grandmother or my attorney was more offended by the fully naked picture that I sent them while on Ambien. So I wake up the next morning to this barrage of emails going, hi, thank you for that, and a couple of phone calls with the grandmother from hell and my very confused attorney, and I didn't remember any of it. That's Ambien for you. I knew that I needed to stop taking it then, and I worked with my doctor to taper down safely, and I won't touch that stuff ever again. I had in the same week an experience where I did not remember how I got home. And I had bruises and scrapes all over me, and I was living in a 3rd floor apartment, and my neighbors told me that they heard me, falling on the stairs, crawling up and whatnot. I had driven home. I had no recollection. That's how dangerous this is, okay? And that was a very short period of time, and I was made brutally aware of the fact that I didn't have all of my brains with me while I was on Ambien, and I stopped. Okay, so that was in 2000, and the prescribing issues were not known at that time. Since then, it has been recognized as a very dangerous drug to be used only for a very short period of time under very controlled circumstances. And you do not mix it with alcohol. You do not mix it with opioids. You do not mix it with a benzo, etc., etc. Okay, now to the topic at hand is we're talking about LBL and how she gets Ambien. Okay. She recently as last week, was acting like she's a victim of the drug again. And she's like, well, I'm addicted to Ambien. And I don't know, I'm addicted to it. My doctor is prescribing to me, but I'm addicted to it. No doctor is prescribing you Ambien, okay? You're getting it from the freaking black market in the doses that you are, because no doubt she'll come and she'll go through, because if you look in the background, she's normally at CVS or Walgreens getting prescriptions. Now, when I call her out, or anybody calls her out in the past, she'll say, I'm here getting my prescriptions, and she'll show a bag, and she'll show this. She won't ever show the actual date with the drug and the quantity. Okay, so for all we know, she's getting blood pressure medications, but she's saying it's this because she's acting like she's getting everything prescribed. But there is no doctor in the United States that would be prescribing her Ambien, an opioid, and a benzo, which we know that she brags about taking Xanax, Vicodin, Hydros, and Ambien, that she admits while drinking every freaking day. Not that she drinks every day, but she does do those drugs every day and drinks. So that's built up in her system. So she was like, well, the Ambien is built up in my system, and it gets all built up in your system. Yeah, well, stop it, because here's the thing, is that she should have never been prescribed it again, because I think that we're almost at the 10-year mark where she overdosed on Ambien and made Berkey call an ambulance for her because she couldn't remember. She took her Ambien, kept taking Ambien, and gorked herself. That should have put Ambien as a quote-unquote allergy in her file, which flags other doctors not to prescribe. Okay, so we know that if the truth and the facts were there in her medical files, there is no doctor that would be prescribing her Ambien. Again, Ambien is for a very short and controlled period of time, where we know now that she's been on Ambien for 8 to 10 years and abusing it, and taking alcohol with it, and taking a benzo, and taking opioids with it. Now, could this explain her erratic and uncontrolled outbursts? Yeah. Could it control her, pull her down her pants? Well, yeah, speaking from personal experience. Now that isn't all of it. Well, let's not think, oh God, Ambien, she could stop Ambien and become a normal functioning member of society. Oh, hell no. She's got a myriad of psych diagnoses, and that's how she was actually able to get her SSI. So, she won't admit it. She won't admit that she's batshit crazy based on all of the. Basically, she's an alphabet soup of the DSM-IV. DSM-4, 7, 9. Every DSM that's going to come is going to have to keep adding on because of the diagnoses they're giving her. I'm not kidding. Histrionic, borderline, rapid cycling bipolar, sociopath, narcissist. There's bona fide biological mental illness that she has combined with personality disorders. And you add it all up and you look at it in some kind of arrested development where she stopped maturing at the age of 2. And her mother indulged her because her mother is a whole other set of psych diagnoses in how her mother, instead of her mother focusing on her marriage or trying to get another adult relationship, her mother focused on LBL so that she could ignore the fact that she was not able to have another adult partner in her life. Now, was she afraid of having an adult partner because she'd have to expose him to the beast that she had created, known as her daughter? Yeah. So the problem fed itself. Bottom line is, we are watching a drug addict, and with the way that so many of us watch her that have been affected in a negative way by the way that the doctors treat us because of people like LBL, it's infuriating. People like her are the ones that they mix these drugs and they die, and then that death goes on as a recorded opioid death. So then anybody who's prescribed opioids is looked at as too high of a risk on that doctor's medical licensure, and so we are all paying the price for people who are irresponsible with their medications, such as her. Now, when she gets on public forums and brags about being able to take all of these and get all of these for her fibromyalgia and everything else, it doesn't help, because then her followers, who often are vulnerable adults, go to their providers and they expect and command to get the same drugs she's saying she's getting, but she's not getting them legally. We've known for a long time that she gets drugs from her followers, and that's a huge problem, because then those followers are breaking federal law, and they're giving her a drug that's going to go to a multi-drug combo, which is the multi-drug combo which causes most of the deaths. Most of the opioid deaths are not caused from somebody taking a bottle or so of their pills. It's from a combination, all of low dose, and the combination makes it so that, because they're all respiratory depressants, and that's how you die. So watching her going through her mood cycle in the last 2 weeks, she's waddling in depression and anger and fury and sitting down with no pants on in the leather couch of hell, that Herma Crescent. Then watching her go and start drinking, and we know that she's on the Ambien. It's going into this mess, and you watch her now raging on the animals, and that is heartbreaking, because no human will take it. I mean, her son gets there, gives her whatever, and gets the hell out. Does whatever he has to do to appease the monster and gets out. Carol ran to Brookline after Berkey was 18, and she knew that Berkey couldn't get taken away anymore from CPS, and she couldn't cover for LBL to keep Berkey with her, so LBL could keep getting her money, which is all that anything ever matters to her from the state. Carol got out. Carol? Sorry, I'm drinking my decadent iced coffee. I'm actually having an iced white chocolate mint breve, because I had not graced the scales with my pandemic fat ass, and I was really shocked at my recent weight gain, to the point where I was like in shock for 4 days. And then I just decided, you know what, it's been a long pandemic. I need to feed this fat of mine, or else it gets angry at me, and I can't have my anger, I can't have my big angry fat belly yelling at me, so I just indulge it with a breve or two a week. I don't know why I'm not trying to lose weight. I certainly should be, but it's been a long pandemic. You just don't even realize how many calories, you burn in a day when it's a normal functioning world. And I was working full time and everything else, and, well, here my lord ass is. But anyway, I digress. I can't watch her right now because it curls my stomach to see the way that she is talking so cruelly to the animals. That is the biggest reason that it upset Carol. Carol had empathy, which LBL is born with none. So there are some things that happened along with her animal hoarding when she was in her adolescent years that made it so, Carol said no more animals. Big Lori. And Big Lori didn't have animals for a long time, and then she started throwing a big fit and got one dog, and then the dog wanted a cat, and then the cat wanted another dog, and we've seen how this has went. Well, Carol would end up paying for all of the vet bills and all of the care for the animals and doing the caring as she did for Burke. But when it got to this point where anytime she was around Lori and the animals are too much because she's so horrible and anxious and vile. It just makes the animals nervous. And you know how she hates a nervous animal. She likes a flat animal. How long will her dog go flat? She really likes a flat animal. Who the fuck wants a flat animal? I don't know what the flat animal thing is about. But anyway, she likes a flat animal. Never heard those words out of another human. But anyway, she is just ranking on those animals, and she speaks in full sentences. Like there's something about her that makes her think that they understand full conversations and that they are, just not able to emote back to her, but they're supposed to fully understand and comply, and she can't control them. And we know that everything to her is about control. So she can't control them. She's just raging on them, and I can't watch. I can't. It makes me sad. And so I caught the part of, her whining about the Ambien bowl and wanted to just bring awareness to, the fact that that's what we're seeing here. And there is no answer in how to get those animals safely away. I think that a lot of us had hope that Herma was, an undercover and was going to go and take Pom Pom at least. But Herma is just doing her, her Christian duty of acting like she loves everybody and everything regardless, because that's what Jesus would do. I don't know. I don't know why Herma walked in there and didn't do something, and why she continues to encourage LBL. We'll just say that. So, have you had any experiences on the Ambien? What are your thoughts on Ambien? What do you know about Ambien? If you Google the side effects of Ambien, it goes on, and you just picture LBL. You're like, okay, I've seen her do that. I've seen her do that. I've seen that. Google it. But most of all, thank you all for listening. And I'm sorry I had to abruptly quit my recording the other day. Like I say, one of my kidlings needed me, and they're very demanding. They're very nervous animal. Well, they're not animal, they're kidling. But anyway, they desperately needed me to do some laundry. You know how that goes in my life. But anyway, I had to stop, and I'm sorry I did not say goodbye and all the salutations. But thanks for understanding and supporting the channel. I love you all, and I love the love that you all give me. So thank you so much, as always, and I will look forward to your feedback. Thank you, and once again, this is a face mask on the cover with cherries. It is not... I imagine is what a proctologist would see when they're getting ready to take off a polyp. But it's not. And it's not a pap smear. It's not what a gynae sees. It's not a proctologist. It's just simply a face mask. So this is what apparently my mouth has been seeing when I've been wearing, cute little cherry masks, little cherry bombs on them. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you and have a great weekend. Spring is upon us. I hate spring and summer, but I know that most people like it, so I'll give you that. All right. Over and out. Thanks again. Love to everybody. Bye-bye.